What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got another review of a awesome little knife. This one's courtesy of Mr. Eddie _411. Go check him out on Instagram. It's courtesy of people like him that get to review such cool and extravagant knives as these. This is a really, really nice one. This one that we have today is a Medford Slim Midi. Still an overbuilt knife, classic old Medford. You know, if you're not familiar with Medford knives, go check out their website. They have a lot of cool knives, a lot of really, really unique designs on the handles. This one is in a, I think, Birds of Prey, they call it. Anno is the name of this one. Really neat kind of blue, gold, purple bluish off gold markings on it. But they have a ton of crazy designs. I mean, they've got some really unique work on their handles, and they range in price accordingly. Medford is an all-American made, 100% American made product. Their stuff's done all in-house, and they are what you would consider kind of like a mid-tech. Not a full custom. You know, this one's not full custom. I think Greg Medford does do some custom work. But this is kind of not, it's not full production either, I wouldn't say. So that's kind of where it sits, is kind of in between the two, the two realms of production knives and custom knives. Now, these are all made in-house by Medford and his team that he's got. A lot of hand work goes into these, but they're not all made by hand. They are made with CNC machines. So they do use some automated stuff, but it's definitely far from, fully automated. He does a lot of great work. I've only checked out two other of his knives, other two actually that Mr. Eddie sent. But we'll go ahead and get some size comparisons, specs, all that stuff out of the way. So pulling a measurement on it. Slim Midi actually a surprisingly light and, surprisingly gentleman carry for what you would think comes from Medford. So you're looking at 7 and 7/8, right a hair under 7 and 7/8 overall. Blade length, if you go all the way back to where it meets up with the handle at, you're looking at about 3 5/8, 3 3/4. You go all the way back there, and the cutting edge, it's got a pretty generous forward choil on it. Finger choil, so you're looking at right at 3 3/8 on the cutting edge there. So pretty good full-size knife, I'd say. What I would consider a full-size knife, pretty much like my ideal carry size. So we get a blade stock thickness measurement, thickest part of the spine, 122 thousandths I got there. Pretty darn thin for a Medford, for what you would consider a massive. A lot of people consider Medford's massive and overbuilt. And right behind the edge, 27 thousandths, so nowhere near, super slicey, but also it's got a pretty aggressive hollow grind on it. So that would make up for that. And it does slice pretty well. I'll show you here in just a second. So handle thickness, you're looking at 393 thousandths on there. Pretty thin handle, just like the name, the name states, slim. It's a slim Midi. So definitely a good slender knife. It's not too thin, and it's not too, what I would say like sharp or something like that. You got a full good grip on here, but it is very carryable. Choke back ergonomics are pretty good. Choked up is where it's at with this one. You can put your index finger right there, that forward choil. No jimping, not really needed in my opinion, because these edges are really smoothed out. They do really nice work. I mean, I'll show you. Here's an up close of the knife, just looking at it, and I mean that grind on there, in my opinion, is awesome. I love the fullers, the classic Medford, fuller that they got going on there, the Medford logo. And when you look at the force is S45VN. So on their blades, they'll have like a D for D2 or a 9 for S90V. That 4 means it's S45VN on there. Really ergonomical handle. This seems like it should have been a cutout. I could kind of see to where that's part of the design for sure. It's not like a mistake or anything, but I kind of would like, the access to the lock bar is not bad. It's not like I'm struggling to unlock this thing, but I think it would have been a little bit better if that was kind of cut out just a little bit, just my opinion. But still, I mean, it's no issues or anything like that. It is still a fully strong and overbuilt knife. You got your you can't open it with that. That's not thumb studs. That's over travel stops. You can see the cutout right there. So whenever it's open, that is one of the stops that it has right there. So pretty thick and definitely what I would say is pretty robust. Good lock up there with this frame lock, no problems. The action on it's running on steel bearings. It's pretty smooth. Definitely a smooth knife. Check out, let's see, let me get my size comparisons out here real quick. It's one thing I didn't do before the video. Usually got all that ready. So you got your Ritter Hogue RSK MK1 standard size in G10, and you got your Hogue Deca, right? So that kind of shows you, kind of like the size that you're dealing with, right around the size of the Ritter Hogue. As far as cutting edge goes, pretty close actually to the Ritter Hogue whenever you look at it. And let's do the Microtech Stitch. All right, knife a lot of people consider big, beefy, overbuilt, and here is the TRM Neutron, right? So, closer in size of the stitch, definitely, I mean, it doesn't have the forward cutout like the stitch does, of course, but definitely a lot more cutting edge than the stitch there. So let's see. Let me get out a couple Spydercos here. Got to keep the Spideys in here. Shaman. All right. So that's your Spyderco Shaman. And last but not least, of course, get out the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. All right. So that's it next to the Paramilitary 2. And you can tell it's definitely a full size knife, right? Definitely got a little bit more cutting edge than the Paramilitary 2. A little bit more than the Shaman, I'd say. Just a touch more than the Shaman. So definitely, both of these are full size knives, and so is this. So I would think the blade to handle ratio, it seems like it's better on that, than it is on those Spydercos. And that's because Spydercos, that besides that forward choil, they also have that flat there that kind of screws them on that end of things. But we'll go ahead and do a hardware check here. Let's see. Let me try out. I think they're T8s. But I'm definitely sure that I could be wrong on that. So I'll go with a T8 first. A little hard to look at it under the camera at the same time. So this is a T8. Yeah, that is a T8. That's a T8. T8. And pocket clip screws. Oh, T10s, I think, on that. That's crazy. Go all the way up to T10. And yeah, pocket clip screws are T10. And the pivot, size of the pivot screw here, pretty large size here. I'm almost certain I got it. Pivot's a T25, which is awesome. It's an awesome thing. Hopefully it's got a barrel shaped pivot, so it's captive, but doesn't look captive to me, which is, that's not good. But at the same time, you got T8s on the body, T10s on the pocket clip for whatever reason. Not complaining there though. T25s on the pivot. That's awesome size on the hardware. It looks to me to be like minimal hardware you're dealing with taking this thing apart, so it doesn't look too complicated to take apart. Now it does have that little disc there, and I'm almost sure that that's a T6. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, that's a T6. So T6 on that over travel stop, I guess you would say, or lock bar stabilizer, I guess you'd call that little disc right there. probably getting that wrong, but anyway, it just, you can tighten that up to keep the lock bar from from traveling past the handle, right? So that's the point of it. And the action on it, really good reverse flick on it. Now you can open it, you can slow roll it out, thumb open it, but to me, reverse flicking it is where it's at with this one. Sometimes you might need a little bit of wrist to kind of, get it out there, but the action on it, pretty good. And I really, really, really like the way it looks myself. It's really super cool. One of the gripes I got about is this pocket clip. It's kind of, I don't like, a huge aggravating pocket clip, but this one's kind of lackluster with the way that it doesn't look too bad, I don't think, but the way that the pocket clip, it kind of just goes in and kind of loosely sits there. Let me get the jeans out and I'll show you. We'll put it in there, and it's fairly, it's not, that is the point of pressure right there, and that's almost, coming out. So, unless you're doing like crazy, like cartwheels or something, I don't think that should be too much of a problem. And let's go ahead and get the last little bit of specs out of the way here. We have measurement on this little guy, 4.2 ounces. 4.2 ounces. So that's pretty good, ounce and inch ratio wise. That's not quite at the ounce and inch ratio, but not too far over. So nothing to really complain about there. Overall, to me, this is a wonderful knife, great product. Whether you agree with Medford's politics or not, that's beside the point. I think you have to kind of be objective when you're looking at this stuff. And this guy and his whole staff and everything they do an outstanding job, And I for one really like the fact that this is all in-house, American made, great product you're getting here. So yeah, I really like that. The only downsides that I could possibly see on this is I would love for this this to be cut out a little more for the lock bar, to kind of get in there to disengage it, because it's not, a little bit of problems there, but it's not, it's pretty much flush there, right? So if you could cut this out just a little bit, that would help. Now, is it impossible or, no, but I mean, I'm just saying it would be a little more comfortable to, kind of unlock it there. And the fact that, that this clip doesn't, it serves its purpose as a pocket clip. And unless you're doing something crazy, I don't think it would be a problem, but it does kind of sit lightly, in the pocket. So that's something else to kind of think about with it. Fit and finish on this thing's overall S45VN, great steel, good steel for EDC, no complaints there. No sharp edges really, unless you dig your fingers in there, these go for baseline on a slim Midi, I think right around $585 is the cheapest you'll pay for one right now, unless you go on sale or something. And they range up into the 6, 7, hundreds and higher than that. So, you're going to pay a pretty penny, but you do definitely get a great product. And the acoustics, lastly, on this thing, I absolutely love. I love the way it sounds. They sound good, feel substantial in hand, feel really good, ergonomically choked up good. Really great all-American made cutting tool right there, in my opinion. I'm going to recommend this knives. I'm going to put it in my most recommended knives playlist that I got, and definitely a good one right there. Look forward to looking at many more Medfords in the future, and would definitely like to own one day. That'd be cool. So anyway, thanks again to Mr. Eddie _411. Go check him out on Instagram. He's going to be linked down below. And thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already to the channel. Hit the like if you like the video. And keep coming back, because there's going to be more coming. Thanks.